Hello everyone and welcome to another brand new video. GTX 1060 has been officially released and today we'll talk about its specs, how well it performs and finally if it's really a RX 480 killer. First, let's start with the specs. Nvidia keeps on trolling with the CUDA core numbers, matching them with different resolution numbers in the Pascal series, and the GTX 1060 is no different. It's got 1280 CUDA cores and 6GB of GDDR5 video memory. It's got a core clock of 1.5 GHz and a boost clock of 1.7 GHz. The Founders Edition card is priced at $299 and the board partner cards start at $249. So the cheapest 1060 will cost $10 more than an 8GB RX 480. Also, if you're confused, there will be no 3GB GTX 1060. You can find only GTX 1060 with 6GB of VRAM. Nvidia promised a GTX 980 performance from the GTX 1060, and if you took a look at the benchmarks, you'll see the GTX 1060 and 980 are pretty much head to head with each other, and the GTX 1060 winning in most of the titles. So that's some great performance there if you're considering a single GPU to game at 1080p. This card will be more than enough to max out most games at 1080p with 60 FPS. Also, you'll have some headroom to play at 1440p if you lower down a few settings. Now, as the cheapest GTX 1060 costs $249, so it is just $10 more expensive than the RX 480 8GB version. Of course, you'll find most GTX 1060 somewhere around $280. Also, I've seen some board partner cards costing more than $300. So to be honest, these cards are not exactly at the same price point. But is the GTX 1060 RX 480 killer? Well, it's a no. Yes, you'll see the GTX 1060 winning in most of the DirectX 11 games over the RX 480, but with the Vulkan API and DirectX 12 games, you'll see the RX 480 winning. Also, the GTX 1060 will be costing more, so you expect it to perform better in most games. But although it costs more, still RX 480 wins in DirectX 12 and Vulkan. I know there are only a few titles right now with DirectX 12 and Vulkan, but more would be coming out in a few months or a year from now. So the GTX 1060 is not a clear winner here. Also, with the RX 480 priced at $199 is a great option as well. People looking to spend less or in a budget could pick up a single 4GB RX 480 and pick up another one later on. Yes, I know these are 4GB card, but for current games, still 4GB of video memory will be more than enough to game at 1080p, and most people use a 1080p monitor. Yes, I know you want to compare the 8GB video card with the GTX 1060, but still that's a great card, especially in DirectX 12 titles. So by no means the GTX 1060 is a clear winner, as more and more DirectX 12 games will be released. Also, if you're gaming at a high resolution, I would say you go for the 8GB RX 480, as you can add another one in the crossfire later on. But GTX 1060 doesn't support SLI, so you can pick up a RX 480 now and add another one later if you're considering high resolutions. At the end of the day, to be honest, I find the 4GB RX 480 costing $199 the most compelling card to game at 1080p and the best card for your money. But if you want to spend more, then the GTX 1060 is a great card for 1080p gaming, consuming less power and producing less heat. You'll be maxing out most games without a problem at 1080p and some great 1440p performance as well. And 1060 is the clear winner in most of the games, although it wins by a small margin. But if you are considering high resolutions, I would prefer to go with the 8GB RX 480 and get another one later on for crossfire. Finally, you can't be wrong picking up any of the cards, and depends completely on what games you play and what you prefer. These are some great cards for the price, and I see all of them having some advantages and disadvantages over the other. Also, if you ask me, I don't prefer any of the companies over the other, and I personally don't like fanboyism. I would buy the best product offered for my money and I wouldn't care about who made it. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section about the RX 480 and GTX 1060. Also, if you like the video, make sure to hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe to help me cultivate a better PC gaming community with more computer tech and gaming videos. I'm AbsTechie and see you later.